Okay, Shalom Israel. Hope everybody's doing well today. Shout out Cabo Cobb and his congregation in Guatemala. I hope your brothers and sisters that listen to those channels are doing well. Also, SOW family, Kazaki in Norfolk, Virginia, Watazap in Houston, and also Zion in Rochester, New York. Hope our body is solid, strong, and keeping the faith and fighting to stay strong and fighting to be hopeful than another. The title of today's class is Israel's Pride and the Lies That We Tell Ourselves. I want to preface something before we go directly into class, because I think this topic is important for all of us to process and learn and listen and to consume. But in order to do that, we have to come into classes like this with a spiritual mind frame, with a clear outlook and a willingness to receive the message. Okay? So let's go to 2 Corinthians chapter 3 and 16. Now these verses are reminders, but a lot of times, what else is teaching but giving reminders? That's what teaching is. Because our minds are prone to deviate, our minds are prone to be consumed with our feelings and our emotions and our fears and our concerns. And we are programmed to forget. We are programmed to deviate. We are programmed to switch focuses in our mindset. So let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3 and 16.
2 Timothy 3 and 16. All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High.
So whenever we are teaching and we're pulling scriptures and we're going into detail about the etymology of the words, the definition of the words, the clarity of the understanding does come from the inspiration of the Most High. Read on.
And is profitable for doctrine.
The scriptures are profitable for doctrine, profitable to be taken and mimicked, sketched and followed. Read on.
It says, for reproof.
So if the scriptures are created with the intention to reprove or correct, that means the people that are teaching these scriptures, it's their responsibility to teach and to correct. It is our responsibility to deliver the message as clearly as possible with the intent of reproving or correcting or fixing whatever is in a person's spirit. Okay? Read on.
For correction, for instruction in righteousness.
But the way that we instruct our nation, brothers and sisters, is through correction. It's through showing somebody that however they're doing things and processing things and how they're carrying themselves, a person needs to add on, fix, and adjust things in their character and in their perspective in order to maintain a closeness and a clarity in serving the Lord. Okay? And like I said, we've read this verse 1,000 times, but it needs to be reminded on multiple occasions. So we practice not taking the message personal, not taking the message so badly that we can't continue to listen to class, so we take it as an attack. If you're taking the message as an attack, or if you think the message is tearing you down so much, that is also an issue with your perspective. Because if you're looking at class the right way, class is meant to correct and build you up.
And to clarify.
But a lot of times clarity comes first from what? Tearing down. You can't get clarity until you're shown that how you process things is wrong. Okay? Let that verse go and go to Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, 16 and 12.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 16 and verse 12. As his mercy is great.
So he says the Most High's mercy is great. What is mercy again? He gives us something. He doesn't give us what we deserve. That's what mercy is. We deserve a greater punishment, but he doesn't give us the magnitude of the punishment that we deserve. Read on.
As his mercy is great.
Most High's mercy is great. How many times he softens our punishment? Our deserved punishment is great. Read on.
So is his correction.
As much as the Most High softens our correction, and how great that is, he's also just as great in how much he still corrects. Because love is not predicated on not correcting somebody. Love is not predicated on not making somebody feel bad from correction. Love is predicated on how much restraint from the corrector can be had while correcting and teaching and getting somebody to make the adjustments that are necessary. This is how we have to learn to process and look at the Most High. Too many times we take correction as a tearing down of our spirit. But what the Most High is trying to do through correction is to prevent us from greater loss and greater calamity and greater pain down the line. So he's trying to give us the strategies necessary to survive, thrive, and overcome the issues that are keeping us back from peace of mind and eventually the kingdom. Okay? Read that verse again.
Ecclesiasticus 16, verse 12. As his mercy is great, so is his correction also.
The Most High's mercy and his correction is great, consistent, and right on time. So as we're listening to classes like this, are we humble enough to inject ourselves in the message? Because a lot of us listen to class and we're not properly in tune to how the message affects us, the individual. We're more in tune to how the message affects our husband, how the message affects our wife, how the message affects the brother that we have a problem with, the person over us we have a problem with, or the person below us we have a problem with. And we a lot of times lack the capability to see how this message directly is talking to us with the intense purpose to protect us from falling. Because that's what the purpose of correction is. Read on.
So is his correction also. He judgeth a man according to his works.
So he judges a person according to his works, and he also corrects us according to our works. So this is a reminder that there are no mistakes with the Heavenly Father. There are no mistakes. There's no oops. There's oh yeah, you know what? You shouldn't be going through what you're going through. There's no mistakes anywhere. There's no mistakes of the husband the Most High has you with, the wife he has you with, the condition he has you with, the man he has over you, the brother, the predicament that you're in. There are no mistakes because his judgment is fair. Okay. Let that go. And go to Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha 21 and 15. Kariah, get ready to go to the 1828. No. You can read it, but I said, Kariah, get ready to go into the 1828.
21:15, Ecclesiastes. Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Ecclesiastes chapter 21, verse 15. If a skillful man hear a wise word,
A skillful man or a skillful woman is a person who is actually putting the work in. A lot of us brothers and sisters come to class, we go through class, we hear class, we say amen, and we go to hell home and we don't work on ourselves. Because listen, It doesn't take a rocket science to listen to class for 3 hours. And that doesn't make you a skillful man or woman. What we're going to read is what makes a person skillful and not a novice. Because many of us are in class being novices, being amateurs, acting like we're serving the Most High, bouncing from high to high, emotion to emotion. And what we're going to find out is how the Most High determines if you are actually skillful, if you're actually attuned to applying the word the right way, or are you just going through the motion, being an amateur in the Bible? Read on.
If a skillful man hear a wise word,
Listen, if a skillful person hears the word of the Lord, here's the message. Yes, sister?
Does this kind of coincide with what you just read in 1612, where it talks about in that second part that he judges us according to our works?
Come.
Is our works too part of the skillfulness and the act?
Well, yeah, our works is how well we apply in the book. Because how many of us are in the work right now, and it seems like maybe in our head that we're not seeing the real benefit out of this. Or we're doing this work for X amount of weeks, months, and years, and you're not getting what you expected to get out of your Israelite experience. Are you doing this work? And yeah, I've been around a bunch of good brothers and sisters, but you know what? My life is kind of in a rut. I'm kind of in the same situation I've been in, or here's the doozy, since I've come into the knowledge, my condition in life has gotten worse. So if your answer is any of the above, my life has gotten worse in this truth, my life has gotten neutral in this truth, I really haven't grown in this truth, it is a testament to your skill level. It is a testament to your skill level. But a lot of times, we don't look at things that way because we are consumed with what we're not getting or the suffering that we're experiencing. But if everybody's judgment is equal and fair, if you're not gaining anything out of the lesson, if the Most High isn't blessing you for your work, if you are perceiving in your mind that you're putting a lot in and nothing's coming back, it is a testament to your lack of skill.
And the scripture says he gives to all men liberally.
Mm-hmm.
If we go to a gym, there's lots of people that go to the gym and do the same exercises, but there's people that get different results.
Have you seen those memes online where people do these weird ass gym approaches, these weird gym movements, and they're like doing these weird stuff in the gym? They're like, what is this guy doing, and how does he think he's going to get anything out of this gym scenario, right? But if you don't get results from the gym, it's because you're what? You're unskilled in the process of working out and or eating, or the whole scenario.
Or people that go to chef college.
Chef, it's culinary school.
Culinary school. I call it chef college.
Listen, you can call it what you want.
Well, listen.
Chef college. I'm going to school. I'm going to chef college
Hey, listen.
in San Antonio, dog.
They go to chef college, but they open up businesses, and their businesses don't last. Now, you went to chef school, culinary school, whatever you want to call it, for 4 to 6 years, and you cook whatever you decide to cook. But your production and your institution, I mean, you pushed a business that was based off of the cooking that you want to cook.
Yes.
French cuisine, Cajun cuisine, or fast food, or quicker food, or bar food, whatever you want to do.
Southern food.
Southern food. If the business doesn't succeed, it's a testament to how much you learn to apply.
Got it.
Everybody got a certificate. Everybody.
Or you could have been great at chef college.
Yeah.
Okay, you might have been great at chef college, but your marketing sucks. How about that? Maybe you didn't sit back here and figure out how to properly market your your culinary talent.
That's the I'm trying to
But it's still a lack of skill
putting the pieces together.
that results into your reality. Because I run into a lot of people that you see them, they're not bad people, and they keep doing this for years and years and months and months and months, and you don't see any significant change in their environment and their life. They might in their own head say, well, you know what? The Most High just doesn't, maybe this isn't for me, or the Most High is not blessing me, or, I'm still here. People will say that.
Or the extreme is God doesn't love you. That person doesn't love me. That's the extreme conversation.
Or God doesn't love me, or this just isn't my life. There's got to be something that will work for me. Because a lot of times people are sitting back here trying to find out what works for them in their life, not realizing a lot of things can work for you in your life if you do it properly. So if you're in this arena and you haven't received the blessings you might have expected to have for the time you've put in, there's something to it. But the $1 million question is, how do you process the results that are unfavorable to you? How do we process those unfavorable results? You know what most of us say, man, there's a conspiracy. These brothers have a problem with me. These sisters have a problem with me. That's why I'm not ingratiated with the sisters, because they have a problem. They don't like me. Have you heard that one before? I have. Have you heard what brothers got a problem with me? They rank trip. There's a little something they got going on at the top. There's always a reason why you're stagnant. But most of the time, there is an unrealistic way that we process our situation, and it starts with application. A skillful man will hear a wise word, solutions that can enhance your life. We go into detail about how to work on the inner man, right or wrong. We have damn near 1,000 classes about how to, but when you take that application in real life, how many of us are really adapting and changing? How many of us have really learned to corral our thoughts and eventually corral our conduct after all of these years and man hours of class? You got to ask yourself, why? Because a skillful man will hear wise information that we can all apply to better our lives. Read on.
He will commend it.
He will commend the wise information. He will commend the class. He or she will commend the councils. But let's find out what commend is. Give me commend in the 1828 Qur'an, the first definition of commend.
Commend, 1828 Webster Dictionary, point number 1. To represent as worthy of notice.
How many times do we sit back here in class and say this information is worthy of me really applying in my life? Because a lot of us will sit back here and listen to the word but not apply. Why don't we apply? Because a lot of times we don't think the information applies to us. Or we don't think it's really worthy of us taking note. And I'm not just banging on women, but I sat back here and I've seen wives at times listen to a whole class that they don't know we had them in mind. And they would say, man, I was listening to those scriptures and all these issues are hitting what my husband don't do. Like, whoa. Or I'll sit back here and hear the same thing with men. Men will sit back here in the middle of class and think about the brother that's vexing him. And will pin the tail on the donkey with all this information. He's talking about him here. He's talking about this brother on this and this and this and this. But they'll never see it was them too.
That's unskillful.
That's unskillful. And we're going to go into later about why it's unskillful and what that lack of skill says about you. But however you want to paint it, it's a lack of skill. So then, if I operate with a lack of skill, why do I deserve a reward for spiritually being unskillful? Yes, sis?
So that I'm clear, what you're saying is when we're here in these classes, we're not supposed to be self-projecting onto someone else. We should be injecting that information to ourselves.
We shouldn't self-project because we can't control anybody else. Think about how hard it is to fix you. Why are you meditating on what another person can't or won't do when you can't fix you? Everybody wants to think about what somebody else isn't doing, but who really takes the time to look at themselves, to have an honest and fair evaluation as to who you are and what you are? And what are your spiritual capabilities? And do you really deserve the things you think are unfair about what you don't have and what you don't get? And a perfect way to start properly answering this question is to sit back here and say, do you commend the classes? Do you sit back here and go through the information? And what's the definition of commend again, Karai?
Commend. To represent as worthy of notice, regard.
So do you sit back here and say, this information is truly worthy of me noticing it and regarding it? What does that mean? Taking this serious. How serious do we take class? How serious do we take the message? Personally, from the looks of it, a lot of us don't take it serious. Because if we took something serious, what would we be doing if we take something serious? If we get bad news about our health, don't we take that serious? We will change our diet, exercise more. We'll do all these things because we're taking notice of the doctor's advice. I know we don't listen. As Israelites in the spirit, we don't take notice to the message. We're too focused on overanalyzing who delivered the message, how the message was delivered. Do I think that this person was throwing darts at me through the message? All these things stunt how well you take notice of the message and how well you regard the message. If you sit back here and think that the person delivering the message has a problem with you, you've already lost. And you're not going to get the understanding of the message because you're never going to grasp the potency of it. This goes for your husband when he tries to teach you and you're fighting him tooth and nail through the process, or the teacher that you think has an ought at you. How do you expect to tell yourself that you are skillfully receiving the word when you think the person delivering the word has an issue with it? You've already lost before you started. So, what was it? Give me that definition again.
Commend. To represent as worthy of notice, regard, or kindness.
How many times do we take criticism in the Bible as kindness? If you can't even begin to process that correction and listening to words of wisdom is a kindness, how are you going to process the information and apply it in your life? You're not going to come close to processing the information the way you need to. And if you're not going to process it the way you need to, how are you going to execute it the right way? You're not. And if you're not going to process it and execute the right way, then the result's not going to work in your favor. And that's why so many of us are unskillful in processing the word. because we don't even know how to receive the message purely. Now, the reason we don't receive the message purely is because of pride. But we're going to go into the different dimensions of pride so we can understand the pride in us. Because how can you ever get to the point where the Most High can start blessing you in your life unless you remove your pride? You never will. You'll be a person in the truth for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, just going through the motions, never ever receiving the potency of the truth. And all of your conversation will be about how life was unfair in the truth, how you suffered in the truth, how you caught supernatural hell trying to serve God. How many of us have either lived this or heard people talk and vent this way? I can't count on my hands how many people I've seen think that being in the truth is about a participation trophy. I didn't go sleep with my husband. I didn't cheat on him. I'm still here. People have put monikers on their name like I'm still standing. What does that mean? You're going to still stand until the Most High kills you. What does that even mean? For those who know, though, what am I trying to say? We think staying in the truth and not producing and not learning how to be skillful in the word means you're doing something. But you're never going to see the power of sacrifice, the power of what you do every day, until you learn to be skillful in the word. And skill has nothing to do with intelligence or smarts or multiple talents.
Or even your sex. Because
Yeah, your gender.
Because I've seen women outchange men that get Bible classes every single day around generals and around officers and around power word. And you'll see a sister take a class serious, notes be clean, get counsel, and then change light years ahead of brothers.
And
so it doesn't matter.
And numbers of years in the truth.
Numbers
because a person can be in truth for 10, 15 years.
I've seen it.
And still not have the understanding of a person being in for 2 years. Or 1 year.
I've seen
or 3 years. I see it every day. And a person will think because I've been in it for so many years, I understand what the Most High said because I hear the words. But you can hear the word and be unskillful in your application.
Can I give one definition for what you said earlier?
Yes.
It says commend, right?
As we're taking our time, there's a lot of information here, and it's going to take some weeks. And we probably won't get to the solution till week 3. But who gives a damn? It's Shark Week. That's what it's going to be. Pride deserves a Shark Week scenario. This road got pride out the wazoo. No, that has something to do.
Okay.
You got to say the words out the wazoo. Yeah.
It says commend, right? Read that point with the commend again.
Correct.
Commend. To represent.
No. The actual scripture just read.
Oh,
the verse.
It will commend.
Ecclesiastes 21:15.
Huh?
The skillful man hear a wise word, he will commend it.
Commend, the second definition, is to commit, to entrust, or give in charge. So this person hears the word, hears the instruction, and they commit to the instruction.
And they give in charge. They let the message take charge of their life.
But that doesn't happen. We don't get that. That's the definition of commit. So this is how you know I'm not skillful. If the message does, if I don't commit to the message I was taught, if I don't commit to the instruction I was taught,
the message becomes the new way of life.
Yeah.
The message becomes the new way to function. But you can't allow the message to become the new way of functioning if I am emotionally taken aback by the message. Emotion, feeling, ego, how you look at things never allows a person to process it and make the message theirs. What you gonna say? I'm sorry.
No,
I'm going to add on to what you.
I'm with you. So we know that once you hear it, that's the first step. And if you're skillful, you commit to the message. That means it becomes your personal campaign. I'm campaigning on this point, or this point of information. I'm committing my thoughts to this for 30 to 60 days. Well, really 6 months. But whatever topic you want to create, I'm committing my mind to this point of information until I get a good grasp of this and I see the fruit of this.
That's why it's not about intelligence.
Exactly.
Because if you have to read a verse or a class and go over a class 50 times, do what you got to do to get the message. Right?
Yeah.
It's not about how fast you get it, but do you get it? The problem is we don't put the work enough to get any of it. So if you're not really being skillful enough to make it yours and commend it, then you're just getting high.
Or entertain.
I'm going to say get high.
Yeah.
Because Israel uses religion to get high. Israel takes messages that could change their life and benefit their family's life, and they use it for drugs.
Yep.
Just to emotionally get to the next day versus doing the real work to change what's inside of you. Because that's the skill. But the funny thing is skill, the word skill can be misleading. Skill comes off like it's a talent. Skill is about will. It's about desire. It's about how serious are you about making this information yours. So what do you got with commit again in the definition?
Come. It says to represent as worthy of notice, regard, or kindness.
Kindness is important because if you can't take and process the class as it's kind and it's loving, that means you lack the ability to take correction as love. If you haven't learned that criticism is love, you'll never grow. You'll never achieve anything in this. And you'll be spinning your wheels in sadness for decades. And you'd be surprised how many people every Passover operate like it's them Groundhog Day. Another year doing this, another year of serving the Lord, another year of sewing these garments, another year of wearing stringy clothes and putting leather on and taking pictures like it's them Comic-Con. That's what Israel does. They'll do it like it's Comic-Con every year. Take the pictures and then go through their monotonous, sad life, never finding happiness. I'm going to say that if you can't find happiness in this work, there is a problem. Because a skillful person could take this experience and find joy. If you have no joy, it's because you don't receive correction as kindness. Teaching is kindness. How can you be skillful in processing the information if you can't process criticism about your conduct as love? You know how many smart people act dumb? College graduates, intelligent people don't have the aptitude to accept that criticism is needed, and you have to look at the criticism as favorable to even begin to be skillful in the applying of this word. This is the beginning of problems. But why can't we look at correction as kindness and favor? Everybody talks about they're blessed and highly favored. How can you be blessed and highly favored if you can't take correction and real scrutiny about who you are? Then are you really blessed and highly favored? No. Because you're only highly favored if you learn how to find favor in your criticism. So you're really not skillful in serving the Most High and your knowledge of the Most High. So if you're not skillful, that means you're unskillful. And if you're unskillful, this is why things aren't working out in the life the way you want it to, because you're unskillful. Now, how many of us can accept that about ourselves? that there is some good in you. This is not about undressing y'all spiritual. Like brothers and sisters have nothing good they raised there. That's not it. And let's not be children in this. You wouldn't be here if there wasn't good in you. But let's sit back here and get past elementary school and acknowledge the fact that there's goodness and there's tons of crap that got to get worked out. And are you humble and honest enough about yourself to allow the improvements to take over your life so you can really see the benefit of doing this work? You don't got to raise hands. I don't want you to raise your hand. But how many of us do this work and have not seen the benefits of doing it? Some of us I know can say, man, the Most High has blessed me here, 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 and here. But I know a lot of people can't even give me a lot of reasons and ways how the Most High has blessed them. A lot of people have a larger list of how life was unfortunate, unfair, versus the good and the blessing. You listen to some people, I always say this, it's like they're listening to a story like Lemony Snicket's. It's like the worst case of badness has ever happened. You listen to people like, damn, the servant of the Most High is that bad for you?
What were you doing? That's what I always ask myself. Then what the hell were you doing?
Well, I'm going to say this, but before we go down, like, then you really look at serving the Most High as this highest form of hell and sacrifice you've gone through? That lets you know, that should let you know, if you haven't heard it before, that you are extremely unskillful in your processing of serving the Most High. If you have tons of bad experiences, tons of sadness, tons of pain, and that's all you can hold on to, it is a testament to how poorly you process and understand how the Most High deals with you. And it has to be said, because how can you move forward unless you can accept that fact about yourself? You'll never be able to first of all, this is why I preface it about every word of the Most High is about correction. Because if you can't accept this, one, it's not personal. I love y'all enough to tell it to you like it is, so you have a better chance at doing this work and saying, man, it's hard work, it's demanding, it's not easy, but damn it, the Most High has been there for me every step of the way. A person who is skillful in the word would at least acknowledge that with honesty and clarity. If you do not really feel that way, it's your fault because you're unskillful. And you haven't taken the resources around you and used them properly to reconfigure how you think.
For example, a key goes in the door. There's men.
You gotta go simple. I get it.
I got to.
Key to the lock.
There's a key that goes in the door. And I think we all had experience with people like fighting the door and like, damn, this key's not working. And another bro come in and like, hey man, what the hell's going on? Another bro come in, and then another bro comes out. He grabs the key, looks at the key, looks at the ridges, puts it in the door, grabs it a certain way, twists the lock, twists the door handle, and the door opens up. You had 4 men attempt to open the door, but 1 man had the skill. Same key, same lock, same book, same information, same opportunity. But one person understands how to apply it. The other one's just putting the key in and out and finding the door and putting all this effort, sweating, but it's not working.
Now, I'm not going to go into this topic, but if you guys ever remember the parable of the seed and the sower, Christ clearly explained there was 4 types of people that come into the knowledge of Christ. And out of those 4 people, 1 out of the 4 actually make it. But how did the parable explain itself? It said the seed actually went into proper soil. What is that saying? 25% of Israel that comes in this door will make it. And the percentages are so low because too many of us lack the willingness and the humility to let the message in. Think about planting and how deep the seeds have to go to be protected and nurtured. Now, I'm not very good at it, but they got people that are really good at it, right? If you are unskillful in the word, it's because you have not allowed the word and the message properly to go through and accept it. The way to sit back here and gain skill in the word, you have to accept the conditions he's got you going through favorably. That's why you have to take the lessons and the wisdom and the experience with kindness. I have to look at it like the Most High is putting me through these things because he loves me and he is developing me. If we don't process it that way, how do you expect the seed of the word to actually burrow down enough in your spirit to blossom out and grow? Whether the seed falls on stony ground or on thorns or actually in the ground, the term is based upon your humility and your willingness to see the good and the lesson.
Can I pull one scripture? It's perfect. It's perfect. What you said.
Okay.
Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 10.
This is the Bible then.
Bible. Ecclesiastes Bible, chapter 10, verse 10.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 10. Very good.
Yep.
Okay.
The long verse is 8 to 10, short verse is 10.
Okay.
Okay.
Verse 10.
Uh-huh.
If the iron be blunt,
If the iron be blunt, if you read the previous two scriptures, talk about a person that is doing yard work or clearing land. Okay? So if we're doing clearing land, it says, he that diggeth the pit shall fall into it. Whoso breaketh the hedge, a serpent shall bite him. Whoso removeth stones shall be hurt therewith. He that cleaveth wood shall be in danger thereby. I mean, you can get a splinter, right? This person doing physical work, he's changing his what? His environment. The first scripture and the second scripture from 9 and 8 are about a person taking the opportunity and putting the effort into changing their environment. Verse 10 is the point of understanding, or the point of really is the punchline. If the iron be what?
blunt,
So this person's using a axe, but the edge of the blade
Isn't sharp.
blunt. It's not sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Not sharp is dull, which means unskillful. All right, read.
and he do not wet the edge.
If he doesn't sharpen the axe blade, he can hit that tree all day with the dull blade. Israel will go to work, will go home and pray, study, will sit here and go to counsel sometimes and not tell the whole truth.
Listen, study. I mean, I'm gonna say study. We'll gloss over words.
Yeah.
I listen. I don't think, from experience, we really apply this book. You know why? You know why I know Israel doesn't apply the book? Because whenever, I'm not gonna say whenever. I don't want to say 90% or 85%. But a lot of times we're in.
Those are real numbers.
Listen, many times we're in counsel. I don't hear brothers calling me and saying, yeah, man, I'm battling this spirit. I need strategies on how to work on this. You know what I hear? My rib is tripping. She's out of order.
She's out
of order, and I want to call you and just complain about how this woman is wicked and she ain't trying to lock in. I never hear, man, my thoughts are betraying me. My outlook is messed up. This is my issue. I have a real issue with this brother.
I can't focus.
Even if I hear issues about brothers, it's about how jacked up they are. I never hear, man, you know what? I got a negative outlook about this brother, and it's putting me in a negative spirit. I'm looking at this brother this way, and I got to work on it. More times than not, I hear about how this brother's wicked, this brother's messed up. I feel this brother's. I don't hear the. Let me see me.
And there's no self-assessment. So you're wasting
There's
time.
no self-assessment, which means you're studying poor. Because a person that truly studies can see themselves. And they want to come to counsel about how to work on their outlook. But you don't see that. It lets you know, it keys in on how unskillful you are. Because if if you never counsel, that's the biggest red flag in the world. You never counsel about, you're just good, you're fine and dandy. Or you only counsel about how other people offend you. It's never about what's negative in you. You never hear it. Those are the two greatest red flags to let you know that men don't study. And it ties into what you're saying, Dahlia. Their sword is not sharp. So they're just working and sweating and working and sweating, and they're never going to get this tree down.
And they're cutting that tree down as hard as they can. They're busting tail.
And nothing's happening.
Their joints are on fire. Their back is on fire. They definitely are sweating. And they definitely put in the time.
So they've wasted, but they're wasting time.
But look, you put the physical, tangible effort and the physical, tangible time, but you didn't do what you were supposed to do. What a reasonable person does to get the result or the outcome. I've been harping this for like a week and a half about outcomes. If you're not getting the outcome you want, much as to cut down the tree. Can you finish reading this point? Or from 10, verse 10?
Right. If the iron be blunt,
The edge of this axe is blunt, unsharp. Read.
and he do not wet the
And
edge,
you don't put your time, because you can work all day. It's called rate of efficiency. It's called rate of efficiency. You're not sharpening the blade. You put 10 hours into one tree.
So what are you saying? You're focused on physically working
Yes.
versus improving your perspective, your approach
Yeah.
to your work.
Sharpening your blade.
But the blade represents your approach. Israel does everything. They'll run through a wall for the Most High, so to speak. A sister will sit back here and say, I cook for you. I clean for you. I raise your kids. You do everything but fix your outlook. How many of us are guilty of that? I've cooked for my husband. I will sit back here and do all these things he asked for, but never learn how to have a pure outlook and have gratitude for what the Most High gave. Then they'll say, my husband never appreciated. But never realize the thing that you don't fix is why he doesn't appreciate you. Same thing with brothers. I work year after year after year, but I don't get rank.
That's a real thing.
I bust my tail. I never get my rank. But you know what you're doing? You're working with this blade that's chipped and not worked on, and you've never improved how you work, how you think when you work. Your pureness of outlook when you work. I know brothers who were workhorses, but hated the brothers and couldn't understand how come you don't accept me for how I do. I work so hard. I'm a workhorse. Well, you do everything for what you got to work on is how you look at the people who work.
Unskillful.
You're unskillful because you don't do what's necessary to get the blessing you got to do. And that's improving your approach. But why can't you improve your approach? Because you're unskilled. But why are you unskilled? What's keeping you back from actually crossing the threshold? It's your pride. Because you just can't come to grips and accept I am this way and I have to fix this to get to the next level.
Can I finish this?
Yes, sir.
Can we read the rest of the point, verse 10?
Go.
I gotta get to the point.
Please.
Go. Says, then must he put to more strength.
So read the first point, because the third point hits the first point. Read it again. If the iron be what?
If the iron be blunt,
He must do what?
and he do not wet the edge,
If the iron's blunt and you don't sharpen the edge or fix the approach or perfect how you do what you do based on biblical instruction, What is the next stage? Read.
Then must he put to more strength.
You gotta do triple, quadruple, quintuple, whatever septuple effort. And brothers are masters of that. Brothers are masters of working 10 times harder, 20 times harder, 40 times harder.
But
You're working
you're working hard, but you're complaining every
but you're working harder, but that does not necessarily, in this scenario, biblically mean you're going to get the victory.
Nope.
Intensity of work does not always equate outcome.
In
This
this realm, it never does.
Because everybody's working hard out here. But the scripture's going to show you why. The fourth point is going to show you why. Read.
But wisdom is profitable to direct.
You worked, but you didn't work with wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
You're a mechanic, and you did everything you're supposed to do. You're working and working, but you didn't go to the proper mechanic to learn the master method to fixing the problem. You just kept changing out. You
Just kept watching YouTube videos all day
you
long.
made this person blow all this money on buying new parts, and the car still don't drive. I'm not hitting nobody. That's what happens. People do that. Brother, my car be driving. Brother be looking out the one. But I'm saying there's mechanics that will just keep working your car 24 hours a day, and it never gets fixed. What is the problem?
You're doing everything but the actual thing that needs the.
We had a truck that was in the hospital, the car hospital.
For a year,
It was. I never seen that truck be in a coma. The truck's been in a coma for 4 years. We bought the truck, never drove it out. We blew a lot of money, man. We're gonna get these trucks out. We're gonna have
It's like
independent black business. Independent black business is gonna get a truck, and we're gonna have a truck, and we're gonna have a truck. Right?
26 foot of truck.
And own our own truck. Right? But this truck never made it out the hospital. Well, I forgot about it. I thought
Just now got it out.
listen, I thought a war Shalom sold it just to kind of different. Don't tell that we had nothing. I'm like, man, this truck, I thought this truck that come out popular in time. Yeah. And I look up, bro, 4 years go by, I get a phone call because the truck dies for some reason.
Another truck died.
Another truck dies, and brother says, "Yeah, man, we got a truck out the shop. Came out the ER." I said, "Truck came out the ER. What happened?" So that truck we had, I said, "What? I thought y'all sold it. It's for survival purposes." No, it's out now. It's driving. I said, I couldn't believe it. Bless the Lord. Because we put a lot of energy and time into trying to have something for the people so we can sustain the program. So we need a vehicle that can do a workload, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point? The Lord is going to open
It's
the door.
still not all the way out of the.
It's not really, but
Not all the way.
but
It's got out of ER.
it's out of ER.
Out of ER.
It's actually like walking around. It's like this.
And it's got the wrap on his head like this. It's got the wrap on his head.
It's going through physical therapy. It's like
It's physical therapy. Yeah.
it's like the end is not. Don't touch my engine. Don't touch it. The truck is actually trying to help the camp. So it took so long. Listen, that's how Israel is.
That's it.
Israel's just like this truck. It will be in class for 4 to 5 years, and the mechanic will sit here doing their mechanic thing, but it takes skill to solve a problem.
Yeah.
You can
But the thing is this,
yeah.
but the skill, and I want to make sure I'm clear on this.
Yeah.
The skill isn't based upon how good you are.
Yeah.
The skill is predicated on your humility
That's the skill, though.
and your willingness. But see, humility is not a skill. Humility is a choice. Humility is not, you got to be the sharpest tool in the shed to admit your way don't work. But everybody wants to sit back here and use how the message makes them feel emotionally, how accountability makes a person feel less intelligent, less on their A game. These are the reasons why people are unskilled.
Can I finish this point? So read the last point.
This is what they for everybody.
I gotta get to this point.
It says,
He must put to more strength. So if you're not sharpening your approach or sharpening your blade, then you gotta do triple, quadruple, quintuple effort, right? Read the fourth point, the last point.
but wisdom is profitable to direct.
But you can solve the problem in less time if you really commit to the wisdom. Another definition of that, or another I guess translation is, if an axe is dull, its edge is unsharpened. More strength is needed, but skill will bring success. It's the skill of applying the information. It still goes back to skill. But the Most High doesn't bless the skill unless you can see the good in the instructions it's given.
So what is the Most High saying? The Most High is looking at how you do your work, not the fact that you're doing your work. How you sit back here and what kind of a wife you are. How do you process serving your husband? Not just serving your husband. How well of a brother are you? How well do you work with your brothers? How purely can you see all the aspects of how this program and what it puts you through? This is what he's looking at, and this is how he determines if your blade is sharp or dull. Are you really here to have your methods and your methodology scrutinized? Because we want to sit back here and be told, man, you gave your life up for your house, Shy. You're doing a great job. You're on point. Nobody wants to hear that you're here, but there's a lot of things you got to work on in how you serve. What we'll hear is, you're not focused on the good I bring to the table. You're not focused on all the good things I do. Well, you know what? The next verse is going to explain how we're supposed to look at this, but we want to be focused on the 6 things we do well versus the 10 things we fail at. But we want rewards like we've accomplished 16 things. And that's the disconnect. That's the mental disconnect. That's the spiritual disconnect. You done with that? Let all that go and go to Proverbs 29. Proverbs 29, it's a shame people aren't listening to this. 29 and 5.
Proverbs 29 and 5.
Listen, if this quick question, let me know if the volume is still being a problem. Okay? So Proverbs 29 and 5. Let me get there real quick. Read that. I'm going to need the 1828 again. Read that. No.
Proverbs 29 and 5. A man that flattereth his neighbor spreadeth a net for his feet.
Listen, what we can't practice doing is flatter. But this is what Israel wants. We want to be flattered. We want to be told and complimented about everything we do well. A person who wants flattery doesn't want scrutiny. What's the definition of flattery, Karan?
Flattery.
Let me get there too. Sorry. Okay, read that.
Flattery. 1828. What's the dictionary? False praise.
False praise.
Condemnation.
So it's not about, you're supposed to praise people for good works. But why does it say that we're not supposed to flatter his neighbor? We're not supposed to give our neighbor, our brother, our sister, false praise. Why would somebody give false praise? Or why would a person want false praise?
Which one?
Yeah.
No,
the question.
Okay, yeah, I said two. Why would a person, I want both answers. No, why would a person want false praise? Because the scripture said don't give a person false praise. A person will be pressured to give somebody false praise because they want it. They're looking. But once again, why would a person want somebody to give them false praise?
I guess they aren't comfortable with hearing bad things about themselves, or maybe they already think bad things about themselves and they don't want to keep reiterating the things they already feel.
Or how about they think that they deserve that praise? A lot of our disconnect is that we think we deserve praise that we don't deserve. A lot of us think we deserve attention that we don't deserve. A lot of us think we deserve a blessing that we don't deserve. So the Most High says, don't give somebody, don't credit somebody something they ain't earned. Yes, it's then you.
Also, going back to the point of using the dull blade, you're just going through the motion. To our eyes, you may look like you're working, but to the Most High's eyes, we're really not. And He may judge us according to the works that we are giving, and we should be able to do more, or we could do.
Yes, but we want to feel good. We want to feel good about the non-growth we're doing. Because we're still not growing. So why does a person, knowing they're not growing, want to be told they're doing something good? Because we're liars. And that's the biggest reason we can't grow. We want praise for things we haven't earned. We want acknowledgement for things we didn't produce. And the Most High said, don't give these people what they're looking for. Don't give them false praise. Don't lie to them and tell them they're doing something they're not doing, because you're just feeding their what? Their delusion. And when you feed a person's delusion, then you are spreading a net for their feet. You're setting them up for a fall. But that's what pride is. Pride cometh before what? Destruction. And a haughty spirit before what? Oh. The haughty spirit is based on the delusion that you think you should be somewhere without the spiritual currency to back it. I'm sorry.
They're basically lying to themselves, and they want you to feed the lie that they're doing. And if you end up doing that, you're setting them up, because that's feeding that lie.
And the problem is, a lot of us would prefer flattery over change. Because most of us don't want to put the work into learning skill. That's the reality. How many of us want to sit back here and keep hearing all the things you're not good at? Raise your hands if you are enthusiastic about hearing all the ways you suck. Let me count the ways. Oh, Romeo, oh, let me tell you how much you suck in the spirit. Listen, I'm trying to give you some pentambic diameter explanation, or a poetic form of expression that you need to hear about the real you. And then when you start cornering a person about the real them, then it's deflection. It's deflection time. What about you? What about all the things you do? What about you? What about you? What about you? And who wants to really hear everything about all your tools are done? Your axe is dull. Your axe is dull. Your lawnmower blades are dull. All of it's dull, bro. Listen, your shrubbery thing is dull. Everything's dull. Listen, all of it's dull. And let's talk about how to improve all of these dull blades and sharpen them up. Because that's what it takes to get blessed. And then when people start thinking about how overwhelming that is, I'd rather you just tell me how good I am and how much I've grown. I want to lie, and I want to be lied to. And this is the major issue, how we show our lack of skill. Isn't how good of a liar we are. I'm telling you, I know brothers and sisters lie because they never come clean about the crap in them. I don't hear it. What I hear at the very most is, yeah, I got my problems, but what about this person? Your problem? Tell me more about these problems that you say you have. Nobody wants to do that. They want to emphasize on what somebody else isn't doing.
What skill?
What skill? But they don't have that same skill to see them and what part they played in the quote unquote ruining of their life.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the net, because once you give somebody, there's certain individuals that will get that compliment, they'll get that false compliment, and they'll take that as affirmation of good enough.
Come.
And I succeeded far enough. I don't need to keep pushing.
Yeah.
I already wasn't pushing, But that affirmation confirmed that I am actually where I need to be.
So there's no reason to keep changing. And that's how you're setting another person up to fall even harder. And then the sad thing about the fall, they'll fall and blame you for the fall.
Yeah.
How many people blame the other person or somebody else for why their life is the way it is and never take the accountability for their actions? It's not.
No, I'm just saying that place where we find solace, or it's a comfortable place and what we think that we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm comfortable where I am right now.
Yep.
And you trying to tell me I need to change more. I can't process how much more I think it's overwhelming.
And then when you start saying that, then you're making me feel messed up.
Right.
Now you're sitting back here and you're just throwing my flaws in my face. Well, then listen, it's either I'm flaw or it's okay. I'm either throwing your flaws in your face or I'm admonishing you. The Bible calls it admonish. You want to call it I'm making you feel small. I'm throwing my weaknesses in your face and I'm mocking you. Or I'm outing you in front of everybody.
You're breaking my spirit.
You're tearing my spirit down. The only thing we're tearing down is your pride. We love your spirit. Can we love your spirit and hate the wickedness at the same time? It's almost like people deal with these extreme absolutes. You either hate me all the way or you love me all the way.
With my flaws.
But can I sit back here and appreciate the fact that you're still here, but still show you that there's a lot of room to improve? But a lot of us can't emotionally and mentally handle that circumstance. But because we can't do it, it proves our lack of skill and it justifies the Most High's judgment, which is him having you in the place that you're at without seeing the results you're looking for. Yes, I'm
Skillful is dexterous, able in management.
huh?
Definition.
But are you capable of doing the work the right way to get the response you're looking for? I guess the thing is this, we're not the Most High. We're not the rib police. We're not the blessing police. We're not anything police. We're not the credit police. We're not the ones getting in the way of people getting blessed. Because I can honestly tell you, I see men every day getting blessed. And I see some men and women not getting blessed. I see certain people getting blessed, men and women, and certain women and men not getting blessed. Why? What's the reason? Why are certain people getting blessed and some people catching living hell? It still goes back into your skill level. How well are you doing your job every day? Everybody goes out to work for the Most High in their own way. Why are some people doing this work and not getting the things back? Because the Most High gives everybody mercy, right? Everybody got mercy. But why ain't we getting more than mercy? It's camp's fault. It's the camp's fault somewhere while you're not getting more than mercy. That's what everybody's mathematical brain wants to say. The camp is holding me back. The work hours are holding me back. The brothers I work with are holding me back. My husband's holding me back. Somebody is keeping me from what I think I deserve besides myself. But let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Done. Flattery.
Yeah, flat. Yeah.
Done. It says, false praise, commendation bestowed for the purpose of gaining favor and influence, or to accomplish some purpose. Direct flattery consists in praising a person himself.
I have a flattery definition where it says to praise falsely, to encourage by favorable notice, as to flatter vices or crimes. A lot of times we want the things that we're weak at to be flattered at, or to be winked at. That's the issue with flattery. First of all, it is false praise. We want the things that we are poor at to be overlooked.
That's the crime.
That's the crime. We want the things that we know damn well we are pulling up the rear. We want to forget that and just focus on the strength. That's that bench press Israelite thing we always talk about. Just focus on my strength. How come the Most High won't bless me because I can counsel? You know, the reality. There's a verse in I think Corinthians or Timothy where it talks about why are you going to glory in something the Most High gifted you? If you are a talker and you are born with the gift of gab, why are you going to sit back and hang your hat on the fact that you're a talker and you can counsel and make people feel good with your words? You were born with that. Why don't you sit back here and find glory in something else that you weren't naturally born with? For instance, if a person was naturally studious and could speak, why are you glorying in what you were naturally equipped to do? Or if you're naturally equipped to be mechanical, why are you going to be proud about that? Be proud or happy about the things you added to yourself. But to do that, you have to be what? Truly humble. And that's what we're not. And because we're not humble, we don't get blessed the way we think we deserve. Because we lack humility. With all that, go to Romans 12 and 3.
12 and 2.
3.
3.
Let me get there.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 3 reads.
I'm ready.
Come. Romans chapter 12 and verse 3 reads, for I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you.
So he's talking to everybody that's doing this work. Read on.
Not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think.
Too many of us think that we are better than what our condition has us in. Too many of us walk around here and think that what the Most High has got you through is above your pay grade. Too many of us ask ourselves, why do I have to suffer this? Why do I have to suffer that? Why do I have to endure this level of grief? Why do I have to suffer these brothers? Why do I have to suffer these sisters? Why do I have to suffer the conditions my husband has me in? He says, he tells everybody not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. Why is this in the Bible? Because a lot of us think of ourselves higher than how we ought to think of ourselves.
Ought, meaning the reality.
The reality of the problem, what he's saying is this: how we think of ourselves doesn't match the individual. You think you're something that you're not. And the work exposes. The work, service, and dedicating yourself to one another really exposes you for who you are. But a lot of us are in denial and can't accept that we think we are above the conditions the Lord has us go through. And because there's a disconnect of who we are and where we're supposed to be, is where a lot of our unhappiness and a lack of contentment is. This is where the Most High keeps us in. A lot of us think, I live in a certain side of town. I shouldn't have to live in this side of town. Who told you that? Or who told you you're above living in the side of town you live in? Who told you you're above living in the condition with the husband you're living? Who said you're above having to be in the circumstance the Most High got you in? Who told you that? How you feel? Most of the time, your feelings tell you you shouldn't be in the condition you're in.
Not the scripture.
Not the scriptures, and not another person's proper evaluation. We don't want to sit back here and deal in the aisle of the real. We think we are better than where the Most High got us at. And Paul is implying, not implying, he's telling us to stop operating like you don't deserve to be where you're at. If we can have a proper acceptance of who we are, what our capabilities are, what we really are as men and women, then we can begin to get what? Built up. You can't begin to learn skill in processing wisdom unless your evaluation of yourself is correct. And a lot of us who aren't succeeding in this realm have an improper perception of your value, your ability, your talent, and your spiritual skill. And you will begin to grow once you will allow people to help you develop a proper perception of who you are. How many times I don't like this neighborhood, or I've never sat back here. Who the hell do you think you are? You're this Molly princess out here, huh? I curtsy everywhere I go. I don't, the walls. This the hood, like the hood, the side of town. This isn't me. This isn't my spirit. Who the hell do you think you are?
That's your preference.
It might not be your preference, but you're above sitting back here and not being in a favorable condition. Like you're just that five-letter word that starts with a B. You're just that person.
That cold?
You're that cold. You're that cold. You don't deserve to lose nothing.
It's all game.
You don't deserve to take us. Who the hell are you? What have you done for the Lord to get you to deserve the things you think you have? Because once again, we're playing by serving the Most High's rules. So if you're serving the Most High, you're where you're supposed to be. If you don't have X, Y, Z, well, you ain't put in the spiritual work to gain it. If you're in the hood, God got you in the hood. How about that? Who wants to admit this? My name is Awar, and I'm in the hood because my conduct has got me in the hood. My outlook has got me in the hood. My ungratefulness towards the Lord got me in my condition.
That's my situation.
And that's me. Do we look at our life that way?
No.
You gotta have like an all black sweater on, and the whole background is black. You just have your head with like a candle. My name is Awar. I am in this condition because my spiritual side got me where I'm at. This is why I'm here. Well, we want to sit back and say, well, in the world, I had this, and this. Well, in the world, you were a filthy dog. Male or female. Now, once you sat back here and chose to serve the Most High, guess what? You're starting from the damn bottom. Can we accept that? You're starting from the spiritual bottom, and are you really as potent as you think you are in this realm? What we want to do is we want to sit back here and bring our worldly accomplishments, which really aren't as great as we make them to be. We try to bring that into a spiritual realm where you suck at. And then say, no, my condition is so crappy. Well, the Most High has to prove you to determine if you deserve greater blessing in this realm. Because you're playing by a different set of rules. The rules here are based upon your skillful application of using the wisdom of the Lord. And if you're still in a difficult situation, it's because you ain't got your skill level up. You might have been chopping wood for 5 years, 7 years, but you're chopping it poorly. So you got sciatica. You got joint issues.
Calluses.
Callus. You got massive calluses. You got callus on callus on callus.
Improper methodology. Improper technique.
That's my point. You are wearing like Igor.
I've been chopping these trees.
I've been chopping trees. You know all that work, but not doing it the right way. And now you have to be retaught how to do it the right way. But how many of us are humble enough to get retaught? How many of us are humble to get taught? This is the issue. Read verse 3 again in Romans.
Come. Romans chapter 12 and verse 3 reads, for I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think.
So first of all, Paul is saying this. The Most High has given me grace. What is Paul saying? What is grace? What's the definition of grace? He has given me more than I deserve. He says, taken from a person who's been given more than he deserves. You can never get to the point of getting more than you deserve if you think of yourself greater than what you're supposed to be. You'll never achieve grace if your perspective of who you are doesn't match your reality, your spiritual reality. Why will the Most High give you more than you deserve? The Most High gives us, he promises us what? You want to hang there for 10, 15 years? I'll give you mercy. But I'm not going to give you grace as long as you keep lying to yourself about who you are and what you think you are. You ain't getting extra. But we should all be doing this in hopes that the Most High will bless us with more than we deserve. A lot of us are discontented, unhappy, and they're not getting more than they deserve because you're disconnected and you think you're greater than what you are. And your spiritual works, your spiritual conduct doesn't match your expectations of yourself. And that is called pride. And that's what most of us got.
We think pride is just that, cliche talking back.
Good.
Cliche
It's
arguing.
not.
Cliche close my ears. Pride is that unrealistic, inflated assessment of who we are
Huh?
that doesn't match the Most High's evaluation of us, which is true.
And we're going to go into more specifics when we go into this pride topic. With this, let's go to not yet. I gotta go there. See where this flows, and then we'll go from there. Go to Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 3. Now, this chapter, we know Obadiah talks about Esau, right? But the mechanics of sin are the mechanics of sin. Negative is negative. Negative outlook is negative outlook, whether the white man does it or you do it. Let's not act like, the white man's evil is so much more eviler than our evil. No, evil is evil. Bad is bad. Negative is negative. And the root of it comes from the same place.
The devil's the devil.
That's my point. The Edomite's pride is worse than the black man's pride. No, it's bad across the board. All right? Yes, sir? Well, we're going to go into it a little bit. Just let us explain it, and we'll get there. I promise you. Okay? Let's go. Read this.
Obadiah, verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
This is important. So when a person has pride, they are being deceived. This is important to realize because a lot of times we lie to ourselves every day. The fact that how and who you think you are doesn't compare to what the Most High has got you going through is pride. But pride is when we start lying to ourselves about our situation and what we think we should go through. The funny thing is, to be proud means you are deceivable. To be proud means you can be manipulated. And this is the beginning of the sin. We think pride is just talking back and being disrespectful. That's the beginning of it. To have pride is the weakness in each and every one of us. It is the kink in the armor where we get manipulated when our conditions manipulate us. Right. That is what pride is the part of your spirit when your environment can manipulate you. A person can manipulate you. What you're going through can manipulate you. Your pride is the weakness and the blind spot that has you keep making the mistake over and over and over again. It's the part of you where you can be lied to. And all of us in our own way can be lied on and can be manipulated. We tell ourselves we're these great people and these good people. But that can open up a manipulation. Because if I'm so good, why am I going through this? I do all these good works. Because have you ever sat back here and done good works and been told you do good works and all of a sudden you got to get abased? I don't understand why I'm being abased. I do all these good works. So the acknowledgement of all the praise you get is how you get deceived. If I'm such a good person, why am I going through? Because the Most High wants you. We just went over it last week. Jonathan did all this good work, and he died in jail. So if Jonathan can do all this great work for the nation and die in jail, you can't sit back here and catch a little hell? Who the hell do you think you are? Who lied to you and told you that you shouldn't have to go through these things? Your deceivable nature, your pride. Where do you get manipulated? Where do you get manipulated in your head to tell yourself you're going through something that's unfortunate and unfair? Everybody, every one of us are susceptible to being deceived in one way or another. And wherever that flaw is, that's where your pride is. That's what the Most is going to keep tagging until you make a decision to tell yourself you're not above going through anything. The only solution to pride is lowliness. I'm not above being abased in any other way. But if it affects me, if going through something affects me, it's because of what? I've lied to myself and told myself I shouldn't have to go through this, or I can't handle this. This isn't fair. Who the hell told you it isn't fair? But your lying ass. And that's the truth. We're liars. And the lying aspect of us is fueled by our pride. So the deceit and the pride go hand in hand.
You were like the white man.
And you're like the white.
You were like Trump.
Listen, the only difference between the black man and the white man is the white man does sin on a bigger money level.
It's for big money.
It's for bigger money.
Niggas
It's the same thing.
Like this.
Under for a corner.
Yeah.
That's what we do it for a corner.
I do
for $1,000.
I do what I have to do was block it at home.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. I was watching this late night. I was watching Leprechaun in the Hood app. I was watching this horrible movie, Leprechaun in the Hood, and Jake is doing dirt for $1,000 for the in Cali out killing black people for $1,000 chain. Then they got robbed this guy's house, and all of a sudden the Leprechaun comes out. He was a frozen whatever the hell it was, and he came out to life, and he was in the hood, just going through the hood, being a gremlin. But the point is, I'm watching like it's just black people doing low-level crime to come up. It's no different than the white man. They do it for greater stakes. But pride is pride. Delusion is delusion. I don't know why I said it, but I saw it. I was watching it yesterday. This is horrible. This is bad cinema. Hey. Listen, Leprechaun in the Hood, it was the worst, guy. Don't watch it. You know, I'm talking about good stuff to watch. That is you will experience brain rot watching Leprechaun in the Hood for 30 minutes. You're wasting your life. You wasted your life for 30 minutes watching Leprechaun in the Hood. Don't do it.
You knew it was a bad movie when the dude pulled the back.
Listen, I didn't watch it that far. I don't really want to know all that. I don't want to know because it wasn't going to work anyway. But you see the cast, and then you see how the picture looks. It's like, man, this is done in like 4 rooms, and that's it. It might have cost $5,000 to make that damn movie. It was nothing. It was straight to DVD. You knew all rap. It was straight to DVD. It was no movie theater, nothing.
Look, they got Leprechaun 5 in there.
They kept going. It's serious.
They kept going.
Look now. You don't want to see any of them. Okay. Let's get back to God's word out. And now Leprechaun in the Hood. I brought my fault.
One last thing. Do you remember there was a whole, this was in the hood, a whole group of people looking up in the tree saying that the leprechaun was in the tree. And it was all on the internet, all this other stuff. That's crazy.
Now,
y'all never seen it?
I never saw it.
I never saw
it. My other question is, we can be live talking about Leprechaun in the Hood. We're not saying you're right to war, because we all liars. We all liars. Nobody wants to say that. Nobody wants to say that. No. We will talk about Leprechaun in the Hood. We will not admit to the deceit in us. Just joking. But I brought the Leprechaun in the Hood analogy out. But the point is, I was just bringing out to say that pride is pride. Whether it's Esau being deceived in his heart because of his pride is no different than Israel being deceived in their heart because of their pride. We lie to ourselves, and we lie to ourselves that disconnect of our reality of the works we put in for the Most High and how well we do it in comparison to what our expectations are is the lie. And it's also the pride. A lot of people sit back here, and it's not just one or two sisters or brothers. They cannot see the good in everything they've gone through. And the question is, why does a person feel that what they've done for the Most High was so unfair? Who do you think you are to tell the Most High that what you suffered by the hand of the Most High? Because can we all agree the Most High is the one in control of your conditions, the husband you have, the brothers over you? Everything is in his power. So if it's in his power, why am I upset? Because I tell myself, I shouldn't have to go through what I'm going through. And then I start looking at everybody that has failed me in my eyes, instead of seeing how I failed the Lord. Nobody wants to talk about how they have failed the Most High, how they have fallen short of the Most High's plans for them. All we want to do is say, it's no different than what Adam said. It's the woman you gave me. That's why I sinned. It's not even a wife. It's the husband you gave me. It's why I sinned. It's the same cop-out. I'm disrespectful because of the husband you gave me. Nobody has a justification to have a negative outlook or a negative perspective about their condition. Nobody gets that out. Stop lying to yourself. Stop having pride. So what is he saying? A person with pride is deceivable. Please put that in large letters. A person with pride is deceivable. They're easily manipulated. You are prone to being manipulated. We are manipulated by how we look at things. Our own outlook is what manipulates us. The lies we tell ourselves is all Satan needs to control us. I'm kind of jumping the gun, but why is Satan called the deceiver? Is Satan really deceiving you? Or are you the deceivable one that just gets manipulated and Satan just gives you what you want? And you fall by your own desires and your own lies. That's why Satan just works for the Most High. And he allows you to give yourself to whatever you want to lie yourself about. If you want to be lied to, you will find a person that will tell you that your lie is true.
And then you'll curse them in the end and say, person lied to me.
Or not, or not. What I'm trying to say is, if you want to be lied to, you will. If you want to be convinced of your lie, there will be plenty of people that convince you that your lie is correct. Or if you want to be honest with yourself, there's plenty of people that will help you be honest about you and your situation. But the problem is, which one do you choose? We choose the lie. We choose the fact that we're the victim. We choose to be the victim. We choose to sit back and tell ourselves, I have a crappy lot in my life. Things aren't fair. The Most High is not equal. That's a lie. Didn't the Most High say it was a lie to say that the Most High is not equal? He said your way is not equal. It's proof that we choose to be lied to. And when we choose to be lied to, that is how pride is fueled in us. Okay. Let that go. That's all I wanted in Obadiah. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 37 and verse 3.
Ecclesiasticus 37 and 3.
So we know so far that pride, our pride, makes us prone to be lied to and to lie to ourselves. But the pride is what opens the door for the delusion. Read on.
O wicked imagination, whence camest thou in to cover the earth with deceit?
The wicked imagination is what fuels the lie. We have wicked imagination in which we tell ourselves what I'm going through is unfair. What I'm experiencing, I shouldn't be going through this. Why does it have to be this way? The deceit is fueled by a wicked imagination that you can't find in the Bible, you can't find in counsel, but you find it in your feelings.
Wow.
It's your wicked imagination that creates the lie, that fuels the pride, that disconnects you from the Heavenly Father. How many things have we made truths because it makes us feel a certain way? If it makes you feel a certain way, that's a wicked imagination. How many of us make decisions and make life choices based off of wicked imagination that we have convinced ourselves are true? Have you talked to people that are like totally disconnected? Sometimes they'll say something with complete confidence that don't make no damn sense. Like, where the hell did you get that cockamamie answer from? You're like, yeah, 1, 2, 3 is, 1 plus 1 is 3. And it's God, it is. I'm like, where have you gotten this wisdom from? Where have you gotten it from? And it takes months to get people to start breaking down and questioning and even begin saying, well, maybe it is. We deal with it every day with men and with women. We predicate our belief system off of strong feelings. Strong feelings are wicked imagination. And these wicked imaginations is the pride that separates us from the Most High, that establishes this gulf and this distance between reality and fantasy. And like Romans 12:3 said, how do you expect grace when you're disconnected from reality? When what you think of yourself and how you process things doesn't match with the Most High's expectations of you and what reality is. Half of class and the majority of counsel is bringing people's perceptions of who they are and what they think is right back to earth. How many times are we counseling on the law? Very rarely are we counseling about the law. We're counseling about skewed perceptions of people. Yeah. Skewed ways that we process things that we go through in our life. Isn't that all the counseling? Yeah. We got to sit back here. People have this messed up idea of what they're going through, and we have to sit back and walk them back to get them to look at what they've gone through spiritually. Because if they can't see things spiritually, they can't continue moving forward. They will self-destruct. And they will leave based on a delusion that has never been properly attacked in themselves. This is why Paul is saying you can't walk around here with this disconnect and to think that you are something that you're not. And this is what pride is. But you think you're something that you're not because of the delusions that you have, your wicked imagination.
And they're strong because we had a room full of 3 men giving a clear, extremely clear assessment that all had the same report. Mm-hmm. And the brother's reaction to the report was that everyone's lying against me.
Keep going on so it's like people's reports.
Yeah.
And how reports don't make no sense half the time because they perceive the report wrong.
Well, let's listen. That's where I'm going. Yeah. So there's multiple reports, 5 to 10 reports, and multiple men can come in the same room and give the same exact clear report from an outside objective perspective and tell this brother, this is what happened, this is what you said, this is what you did, this is exactly the moment that happened, this is the moment, this is what happened. And the brother will still say, I'm being attacked, I'm being lied upon. And then I said, you know what? Then pray to the Lord and ask the God to show you the truth. And if you're wrong, ask him to sting. And the brother said, I'm not going to do that. Well, then maybe you're wrong then. Maybe you are wrong then, because you're saying you there's no way you're wrong. Then pray to the Lord to reveal it to you, and if you're wrong, let him sting you. If you're that confident that you're innocent, then you would do the prayer. You would pray the Most High to show you the truth and sting if you're wrong, if you're that confident. But how come you're not 100% confident in your point? Because you won't pray that prayer. Lord, if I'm wrong, if I'm really convinced, I'm really 100% convinced that I'm being picked on and this is a lie, and I'm lied about, then go to the Lord and ask him to reveal it to you. Nobody wants to go do that. They want to just debate men all day. You want to debate men and go this debate war. But you don't want to ask the Lord to show you the truth. That means you want the delusion and you want the lie, because the Lord will show you the truth. If you ask him to show you and reveal the reality that you're dealing with, the truth, he'll make it more than apparent.
I'm gonna say this: what people or brothers don't understand is you will not get ranked up if how you process what the Most High is putting you through is wrong. Listen, you will plateau at the test. Simple as that. Because we cannot afford brothers ruining other men's lives.
And they can't
process skewed perspective, skewed spiritual perspective of a situation. And if all I hear and all we hear is victim talk, one-way talk, lack of spiritual clarity, listen, you can have all the Bible verses in the world, you're not getting ranked up. There's no way we're going to put the flock through that kind of hell. And then also, why do you think if your perspective is as skewed as it is, the Most High will reward you with extended family? If you can't properly look at things spiritually and you don't go to people to help scourge your thoughts, how do you expect the Most High to send you people to submit under you when you don't make no damn sense? Why would the Most High send you a husband if you can't properly see things the right way? How do you expect a husband to be appreciative of you if you can't properly process what you're going through and what he's putting you through? And if you're not humble enough to be led to see things clearly spiritually. You can have all the knowledge and years and experience, but if your perspective and how you process things are detached from reality, the Most High will not promote you. He will not promote you. You can be angry all you want, it's not going to work. He's the one who promotes anyway.
No, I'm just saying, if you really want the answer, you really want the clarity, the Lord will give it to you. But Israel likes to dwell in the fog of detail. They like to do it. They like to do in that gray realm where it's not black or white. Mm-hmm. We're not really sure. Some of me is some of you. Israel wants, and it's still feelings. Israel wants to live in a reasonable doubt or a nebulous or a clouded realm
because they want to be told. They want a confirmation that their wicked imagination is true,
or possibly true.
Or that's my point. And they don't allow people to challenge their wicked imagination, because when you challenge that wicked imagination, you get blowback. You know what you get? You just don't understand it. You may not have heard that. When you start cornering a person who has a wicked imagination or their perspective is off, you don't understand me. You don't know me. I'm just going to keep quiet now because now I feel like I'm being picked on. That's a person who's disconnected and they want to keep their imagination and they don't want their imagination challenged. They don't want their foul perspective attacked. People want to keep that foul perspective because that keeps them comfortable and safe. And they've told themselves, this has kept me safe this long. The way I feel and think, I've survived this long with that. Is surviving all you want, or do you want to grow? That's the $1 million question. Do you want to grow or survive? Because if you're going to survive, you'll just be here and happy for years. And this one Lord said, I find no pleasure in you pining away. Because if you don't use humility, you'll just wither away, spinning your wheels, running in circles, not changing, holding onto your wicked imagination and telling yourself, my wicked imagination hasn't let me down.
Yes, that is true.
Acting like Scarface in the damn with the cigar. Like, the only person who I trust is me.
Yeah, in the water pool, huh?
And that's what I'm saying.
But this is the thing. The reason why I'm gonna say this, I've experienced it. You're so depressed because you are a liar.
Yeah.
And let me clarify. The depression comes from being angry. The depression comes from not getting your expectations met. We can all say that. But we never say that what I think I deserve is untrue. You think you deserve a certain item or a certain object or a certain opportunity or a certain set of circumstances, and I'm not getting that circumstance met, therefore I'm depressed. But the fact I think I deserved it is the lie. And to clarify my statement, if my physical work and my physical application and my spiritual humility doesn't match the blessing I want, then I'm not getting the blessing I want. If you want to go buy a soda from a machine, you got to have the right amount of change to put in the machine. It's facts. It's $1.25 to get that Sprite right there. You can't go there with 3 quarters and be like, where's my Sprite? That's what we do all day with the Most High.
Yes, we do.
We be hitting the machine, hitting the plastic glass, kicking the machine, trying to shake
We
it.
get our hands under the machine.
Trying to sneak and get the machine in there, putting in fake change in there, putting in fake coins. It's like people back then they used to get the they would put like a little hole in the quarter.
Yes, put it in and take it out.
You put the hole in the string.
And you do it 3 times.
And you keep doing this to maybe you can fake the machine out to get the soda you want.
Yes.
We do that with God. You're trying to fake God out, fake your husband out, fake the brothers out, fake life out. You only have so many coins, but this object that you want, or this condition you want, or this situation you want, costs $1.25 in spiritual points. And are you going to take the reality? I only have 60 cents in spiritual points.
Let us save our money up and do right and make changes.
How many more changes I gotta make for the Lord to give me the rest of these coins? Cause I really do want that Sprite. I'm thirsty. I'm parched. Or settle for some water and be happy. The water is mercy. The water is a quart.
Mm-hmm.
But the one you want, the little free drink you want, you're not getting that until you do the work to get it. The Most High is about doing the right work the right way, and then you get the outcome.
Yeah.
He did that with David. He did it with Moses. He did it with Israel. Israel didn't get out the wilderness until their kids got them.
And I was the ones that said, man, listen, they're going to be in this wilderness forever, right? Why don't get them in here?
Yeah. Let the kids go.
God. So listen, let's do this. Let's go. Read Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and 12.
All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 12.
Read it.
The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High,
Mm-hmm.
and his heart is turned away from his maker.
So listen, your heart is turned away from your maker, and it's turned into your imagination and your feelings and what you think is right in your own heart, in your own head. Now, the definition of pride, one of them is in Webster's dictionary, and it says an unduly high opinion of oneself. Unduly means not in proper proportion. And that's an important thing. Pride is an unduly high opinion of oneself, and that unduly word means your opinion of oneself is not in proportion to your reality. What you think you are, what you think you deserve, what you think you have invested, and how well you've invested is not in proportion to what's really your works have really shown. And because our works are not tied in properly to our effectiveness of our works, that's always disconnected. Our perspective of what we're going through is disconnected. Our perspective of how people look at us is disconnected. Have you ever been to counsel somebody and they'll say, trust me, I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And you know they're wrong. Like, these guys are wrong as hell. But they swear that how they're looking at a situation is spot on. Like, this person is sick.
It's that movie with that white kid, man, the white guy, Cappuccino. What's his name?
Leonardo
DiCaprio.
DiCaprio.
Yeah, I don't know.
Leonardo DiCaprio. That's his name.
Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Didn't he have a movie about he was crazy guy? He was
Oh, Shutter Island.
Shutter Island. I watched that movie. I said, "Damn, that's a documentary.
Yeah.
It's a documentary visual."
Yeah. Because he swore how he looked at things.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is this, he was in the psych ward, right? We don't have to be in the psych ward, but we still believe these delusions. And our perspective of, we pride ourselves on what we think people think. And our ability to read people, our ability to read situations.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time we're wrong. Most of the time we're wrong. And how we think we read situations is that pride, is an aspect or form of that pride where the Most High sits back here. This is the beginning of how we separate ourselves from him. Because we separate ourselves from the Most High because we have no mercy in our perception. We sit back and see the worst in our people. So if we see the worst in our people, then we're separating ourselves from the Most High because that's not what he told us to do. To be interesting and think people are always bullying you, that's pride. Because your perception is thrown off and you swear by it because you feel it's true. But that wicked imagination is distancing yourself from actually growing in Christ. Because we read people wrong. We sit back here and do the work of the Most High. We attempt to live spiritually, but we read people based off how the world taught us how to read people.
And that doesn't match. That does not. That's a dead giveaway red flag. How the Most High's not going to bless my judgment.
And that's the improper proportion of how we deal with things. We're in the work with the Most High, and we're always thinking somebody's out to get us. Somebody's out to harm us. Somebody's trying to tear me down. That disconnect, same thing with men. Our parents teach us how to be men haters, so we bring that to relationships. We bring a lack of trust to the relationship. Men too, they bring a lack of trust and give people the benefit of the doubt into marriage.
To God.
That pride destroys marriages. That pride destroys relationships with brothers or with sisters. Because we have these skewed perspectives of how people are supposed to talk to us. We overanalyze situations. We overread things. We look too deep into things. All of it is sickness and all of it is pride.
And then we blow off what we need to get. That's the crazy. And the one thing you need to hit that was clear as day, we blow it off. Because it's too inconvenient.
Yeah, because it attacks the premise that got us as far as we've got. And we haven't made a decision that how we look at things is lackluster. How we process things is low level.
I've done everything right, and how dare you critique where I'm at. But I don't know why I'm not getting blessed. That's the crazy thinking.
So that pride is an unduly, meaning not in proper proportion, high opinion of oneself. Also, proportion means the comparative relation of any one thing to another.
What's that?
Meaning, let a man's exertions be in proportion to his strength. That's proper proportion. What you put in should equal the level of effort you put in. He's just saying that your perception should equal your situation.
Yeah.
But a lot of times our perception does not equal what's really happening in front of us. How we look at something is untrue in comparison to reality that's staring you right in the face.
And the real question is, this question, can you point out 3 things about your perspective that's not true?
No.
And if you can't do that, then you're lying.
Or
that's how you know. That's how you know. Look,
scripturally, it even tells you that you have to at least go through a process to filter and challenge the validity of your thoughts. If you can't come up with whatever, the scripture says iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to go to someone that you know will honestly challenge your thinking.
Honestly.
But how many of us go to a person that's going to honestly, legitimately challenge if your thoughts are pure about a situation? Most of us don't do it because we want to believe what we feel. So we go to people that agree with us versus going to people that we know will honestly challenge how we're processing a situation. And that's how we know we're liars. Because we don't go to the person that we know will tell us it like it is. Remember when it was Jehoshaphat, and it was I forgot the northern kingdom leader. They brought that prophet in. And the northern kingdom leader said, man, I know this guy. You always sit back here and tell me the things I don't want to hear. Ahab. You always sit back here and give me bad counsel. Was it bad counsel or was it true counsel? Was it counsel conflicting with what his imaginations were? And we get mad when our imaginations don't fit with counsel. We try to force it in. And that forcing is our pride, not accepting that how we look at things is awful and wrong, and they need to be amended.
He ended up dying in battle. He ended up trying to disguise. He thought he was super smart. Smarter than now.
Yeah.
He went to battle with the disguise on. Acting like they didn't know I'm the king. And they went to war and they perceived that's the king.
God.
They killed the king and the war was over.
God. Now listen, with all this talking about pride, and all this clarifying about the thinking ourselves higher than we ought to think, and this wicked imagination. Now let's tie it in to how the Most High looks at us that have this wicked imagination, this deceivable nature. We're going to sit back and find out how the Most High looks at us that have pride. The ones that have pride, how does he look at us? So let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 18 and 19. Obviously, Ecclesiastes 10, a lot of the chapter deals with pride. But now we're going to get very specific with this pride and how the Most High looks at us with pride. Those of us who have pride, we read earlier that those who have pride also have what? We are deceivable. We're easily manipulated, right? I told y'all to really do that in caps. Read Ecclesiastes 10 and 18.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 18. Pride was not made for men.
So listen, Most High didn't create man and woman with the intent of us having these delusions and these lies that we hold on to about who we are. We were not created for that purpose. We were created to be honest and accept our conditions for what they are so we can be developed and created and skilled in Christ. Continue.
Nor fear his anger for them that are born of a woman. They that fear the Lord are a sure seed.
The Most High says, for those of us who truly fear the Most High, I mean, I can hear this last part out. Just work. It's a 2-minute thing. It says, read verse 18. You gotta get out of here. Read that again.
Verse 18. Pride was not made.
19. 19.
Verse 19. They that fear the Lord are a sure seed, and they that love him, an honorable plant.
So the ones who fear the Lord, meaning there's no doubt there's certain people on earth have made a decision that the Most High is the only way they're going. He said they're a sure seed. They're the ones who fight to be righteous and there's no conflict in their head. This is where they want to be. And they have a clear perception of who they are. Read on.
They that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed.
So there's other people that are fully vested in being negative. They're going to sell this dope. They're going to use this dope. They're going to rob, steal, kill, live the life they want to live, and they're convinced in it. Right? He's telling you the type of people there are on earth. The ones who are about righteousness, who are sure in that path, and ones who are sure in wicked. Right? But then there is a third group of people that's out here in the world too. Read on.
They that transgress the commandments.
So he says the ones who sin, the ones who can't stay consistent, the ones who do good and they mess up and they do good and they mess up and they do good and they mess up and they can't maintain that spiritual rhythm, they're the what?
Are a deceivable seed.
They're the ones with pride. The ones that can't be consistent, they are easily manipulated. They are manipulated by their own fantasies, their own lies, the lies they tell themselves. So he says the righteous ones, there's no more fighting. There's no more lying to themselves, the ones who are the sure seed. And the ones who are negative, they're not lying either. They have chosen the left-hand side. They're not playing game. But everybody else is playing Jew. Everybody else is playing righteous. Because they're still easily manipulated. They choose to be manipulated, or they choose to lie to themselves. They are the deceivable seed, the ones with pride. You have the righteous, you have the wicked, and you have the what? The deceivable or the lukewarm people. The lukewarm Israelites are the ones who keep lying to themselves, who operate in a delusion, who choose to be lied to, who choose to be manipulated, who choose to sit back here and be fueled by their wicked imagination. And they sit back and do a little good too. But they still choose their imaginations and do good at the same time. Those are the deceivable seed. You have your sure seed, you have your wicked seed, and you have everybody else that keeps lying to themselves. Which one are you? Are you operating with pure acceptance of who you are and a clarity about what you are, and you're not fighting what the Most High's got you going through? And you have a clear assessment of yourself, and you let people around you chastise you the right way? Or are you about that dirt and that action? You wouldn't be here if that was you. So more than likely, you're that person that's the deceivable seed that walks around here, does some good works, but they still have this fantasy in their head about what they think they should go through or what they don't think they deserve. And they keep playing and flirting with lies. He says that's the seed or the group of people that can be manipulated and taken advantage of, and they can go either way. You can end up making the kingdom or not. Why do I say that? Hold this and go to Revelation chapter 3 and 15. Revelation chapter 3, verse 15 through 16. And it's good after this. I'm here. I need to get out of here.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 15 reads, I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot.
This is Christ talk. He says a lot of people's works, they're not convinced all the way to change, and they're not all the way wicked. Read on.
How wilt thou work cold or hot?
Christ said, I'd rather you be a sure seed or a dishonorable seed. I'd rather you be all the way and not deal with this delusion that you're acting like you're playing righteous, but you're really negative. I'd rather you stop lying to yourself because I see right through you. Right? Read on.
So then, because thou art lukewarm,
because you're lukewarm, you are that deceivable seed that plays with these lies and has pride and has these imaginations that disconnect you from reality. Read on.
Neither cold nor hot.
You're not cold or you're hot. Read on.
I will spew thee out.
The Most High is going to spew the deceivable seed out. Because the liar, the one with the pride, the one that's disconnected from their reality won't make it. You're the lukewarm one, if that's you. He's like, are you going to fight to have clarity about who you are and accept correction and accept your condition that the Most High's got you going through? Then you're going to keep lying to yourself. The ones who keep lying to yourself, the ones who keep operating this fantasy, he's going to get rid of you too. Now, the good thing is we have time to change. We have time to show the Most High that there's no flim-flam in us. And we've killed the flim-flam. And we're all the way in, and we're thoroughly convinced, and we accept whatever condition the Most High's got us going. You know you're fugazi if you can't accept what the Most High's got you going. That's how you know you got that delusion. Because you are where you are. And the Most High's got you exactly where you're supposed to be. So are you going to sit back here and get the spiritual lesson from where you're at? Or are you going to keep being in denial about what the Most High called you to be? Because while you're in denial, you are also the lukewarm person. Because people think as they come to class for this week, they're not lukewarm. Yes, you are. You're still lukewarm because you're in this delusion thinking you're doing everything you can and you're not. Hopefully, Ecclesiastes 10 is giving you a clear idea of what being lukewarm looks like. You keep lying to yourself. You keep putting yourself into situations where you can be spiritually manipulated and deceived. And when you are spiritually manipulated and you're deceived, this is where these negative outbursts come from. The disrespect, the being out of pocket, the outbursts at the mall, the outbursts at the damn zones and the moves. This is you being the deceivable seed.
And the shutdown.
And I'm just going to go through the motions, say nothing, and be a robot, but be angry inside. You're lying to yourself too. You're the lukewarm person that can sit back here and say shalom on a person's face, but have nothing but negative, off the wall, out the spirit outlook towards people. You're lying to yourself. And how you look at things doesn't match up to what the spirit got you going through and what the spirit expects from you. And if there's that disconnect, that disproportion of your situation versus what you're going through, you are in lukewarm territory. And if this is the territory you're in, when Christ comes back, he is going to do what to you? He's going to spew you out. So it behooves you to get out of the fantasy that you're in, to remove yourself from the lie you keep telling yourself, these strong feelings that guide your action. Because what good is doing this if you're not that sure seed mentally? You're wasting your time. This is not a threat to run people out. It is what's the word? Exhortation. To be more committed to your work and honest about your situation and honest about your condition. And honest about how serious you've been doing this for as long as you've been in. Have you really given your whole spirit, or have you been captive? Have you truly given the purest of your outlook towards your work, or do you go through the motion? Do you really fight to attack your thinking? Or do you just sit back here and do enough not to get in trouble? How serious are you to the work that God chose you to be in? Whether you are a brother in the work or a sister supporting her husband. How committed are you to this work and to your calling? Because the Most High knows if you're cold or hot or lukewarm. If you are a sure seed, a dishonorable seed, or you're a deceivable seed that is susceptible to manipulation. Emotional manipulation, physical manipulation, conditional manipulation.
My condition tells me this is why my life's messed up. Versus
that's a person that's easily manipulated. You're small in the spirit. If your conditions dictate your feelings and how you look at the Lord and your service to the Lord. And so many of us, if I got a car, God's good. If I don't have a car, I'm angry at God. If I got a rib, the Most High is great. If I don't have a rib, Most High ain't fair. You are a deceivable seed. If that's how your mind functions. If my man gives you what I want, I love the Most High. If I don't know if this is for me. If I get the time I want, God's good. If I don't get the time I want, I'm unhappy. You have to fight to make sure you are thoroughly convinced in your mind what you're doing. And that's about choosing to see the good in everything. The sure seed is the one that chooses to see the good in everything he or she goes through. The deceivable seed chooses to go off their feelings and the lies that their eyes tell. Are you going to be the deceivable seed that looks at things based on how they feel, or the sure seed that chooses to extract the spiritual lesson from whatever they go through? It's that simple, but it's that hard. What do you want to be? And don't forget If you play with these lies, you are lukewarm in Christ's eyes, and he will move on from you. Now go to, matter of fact, read Ecclesiastes 10 and 19 again. You good, on me?
Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 19. They that fear the Lord are a sure seed, and they that love him and honor him plant. They that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed. They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed.
Want to break the law. They are capable of doing good works and breaking the law. They are the deceivable seed. Deceivable in 1828 says subject to deceit or imposition. The person who goes off their feelings and their imagination, you are subject to getting exposed based off how you feel that day.
Yeah.
How many of us, based off how you feel, are in the spirit or out the spirit? There's a lot of us like that. It ain't just women. If I feel a certain way, then I'm there. If I feel another way, then I'm gonna be destructive around it. You are deceivable, see, because you're easily manipulated. And you're manipulated through your false perception of things. You're manipulated by your wicked imagination. You're manipulated by your pride. And because you're manipulated by your pride, this is how you start to distance yourself from the Heavenly Father. So it says, subject to deceit or imposition, capable of being misled or entrapped. This is how you know you're disconnected. Because there's nothing that should be going on in your day and your life that should change your feelings and your emotions and your performance day to day. But the problem is our feelings dictate our production. And if your feelings dictate your production, you are easily manipulated, you are deceivable, and pride controls you. And if you're going to be hot in Christ's eyes, you can't be manipulated by those feelings and those delusions because you're manipulated by lies. When you choose to operate based off how you feel, you're being lied to. And the problem is we choose to be lied to. We like being misled because we like to choose how we feel versus the immovable power in Christ that teaches us we shouldn't change anything but hold fast to that which is what? The truth. We're supposed to cleave to the Most High, not be tossed to and fro with every wind of what? Every feeling and emotion that pops up. You are deceivable. And Christ can't be with the person that's deceived. So we have to every day not choose our delusion. Every day not choose our imagination. Every day not choose how we feel if we want to finish this race. If we want to end strong in Christ. I'm going to read it again, the definition. Deceivable, 1828, subject to deceit or imposition, capable of being misled or entrapped. Now we know by your vain opinion is how you're entrapped. Many are deceived by their what? Own vain opinion. You're deceived and you're entrapped by your negative way of looking at things. Your non-godly, non-spiritual way of processing things. Then it said, exposed to imposture. As young persons are very deceivable. Meaning you are susceptible to being lied to. You're susceptible to being manipulated. Now the question is, who do you want to manipulate? Go to Revelation chapter 12 and 2. 12 and 9. Revelations 12 and 9.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 9.
Let me get there, sir. Read that.
Revelation chapter 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil.
We know who Satan is. This is the literal spiritual demon, Satan, who works for the Most High mind. Read on.
And Satan, which deceiveth the whole world.
All I want to focus on is that Satan deceived the whole world. But the question is this. How can Satan deceive somebody that doesn't want to be deceived? So how can Satan deceive somebody who doesn't want to be lied to?
Or deceive you with what you didn't want.
Or deceive you with something that you don't want. So personally, does Satan really have the power that people talk about Satan has?
No.
Satan doesn't have anybody. Our lying nature fuels Satan. Because we are first liars. Because we choose to lie to ourselves. We are easily manipulated. So our lies, our deceivable nature, us being that deceivable seed, opens the door for us to be deceived on even a greater level.
I just gave you what you want.
Exactly.
I just told you what you
all
wanted.
Satan is doing is, listen, this is why it's so easy when you have a negative outlook, there will be somebody there feeding you. When you have a delusion, there is always somebody there to feed the delusion. There's always somebody to confirm your negative, hateful outlook.
And they can negative tell too. That's the funny part.
But that's the point. There's always somebody that will fuel your negative processing unit. That's all Satan does. And when Satan fuels the deception that's already inside of you, then Satan becomes the accuser.
Oh, that's the second stage.
See, this is why they don't make a king. And this is why the deceivable seed are lukewarm. Because once you eat the cheese and choose the lie that you wanted anyway, then Satan says, see, this is why they can't make the kingdom. They're not hot. They want to play both sides. They want to be lied to. And it's the proof. Because they keep choosing the lies that they tell themselves. They keep choosing the weak and beggarly elements. They keep having the skeptical nature. They keep choosing to see the worst situation. And they avoid the people that can give them solutions. There's enough people that can heal them. They don't want that. They want to be lied to. And these are all the circumstances that they've proven that they don't want to hear the truth. You know how many sisters have been here for 5, 10 years and don't call no sisters? How can you be married to a man of the truth and you don't talk to sisters? Does that make any sense? You don't talk to no other sister. Why not? Because you don't want to be told you're not good enough. You don't want to be told that you got to change. Why don't you have any relationship with sister in the truth? And you've been here forever. How can you be in the truth for more than 5 or 10 years and you don't have no bonds with sisters? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, then you tell yourself the sisters don't like you. Wowzers. There's that delusion. There's that pride, and there's that wicked imagination. Because if I tell myself sisters don't like me or they don't understand me, now I don't have to try.
You grant permission.
Now I don't have to try.
Be slow.
Now I have fuel to justify why I don't have to do something that I really just don't want to do.
Now wicked and slothful servant.
And then they say, well, I serve my husband. Well, you're supposed to sit back and work on other things too. And how can you really serve your husband if you don't allow other sisters to help teach you how to serve them? Because how many husbands can teach their wives how to serve them? Not very many. A husband also needs help from sisters to help push them to being a better servant. And how many times, sisters, have you been in arguments with your husband and you need somebody to push you back that direction? Then for the sister who doesn't think they need sisters, how do you do that? How do you serve your husband if you don't go to sisters to help push you back to your husband? You know what happens? You don't do it, and you end up just staying in that relationship looking at him negatively because you didn't put the work in to talk to sisters to help them help you clear your thoughts to serve him the right way.
Because you were
a deceivable seed, and you had pride, and you chose your wicked imagination, and you chose not to have them challenged. So Satan sits back here and gives you 1,000 reasons why you're right. So at the end, Satan says, see, you never wanted to change. Why should you be granted the kingdom? You never wanted to change. All you do is call this sister. Why didn't you call it? Why weren't you humble enough to reach and say, I don't know what I'm doing. I need help. Because you didn't want to do it. So why do you deserve the kingdom? This is the reality of things. This is what a lot of us are going to be crying and gnashing of teeth at the end because we've been lying and hiding, running from change, running from being accountable, while following the law at the same time, being lukewarm and wondering why the Most High spits you out. Because you don't ask the right questions. You don't sit back here and disclose the right information about you. You don't sit back and humbly beseech yourself and tell people what you're really battling. You keep that in your back pocket and you just talk about how wicked these women is. Or you'll sit back here and just keep conversations. How long can you work with men of the truth and your conversations keep being light and jovial? And nothing's about change. Nothing's about concrete information. That means you're lying to yourself because we see it. Yeah. We know you're capping.
Light conversation.
We know you're everything's light, smiles and jokes. Nothing's about character building and fixing me and fixing the crap in me. Listen, we know you're capping. We can't make you stop capping.
It's hot.
We're gonna work with you, man. Sure, it's hot outside.
It's cold today.
Chuckle, laugh.
The taco was good. The taco was good. The salsa was hot.
That's all you get. And you know, we're going to do that until you either counsel and want more or not. And you just keep wearing whatever patch you got. Because until you start dealing with the real issues, there ain't no upward mobility. And then we'll hear, oh man, there's no growth in the truth. This wants you so hard to grow. You can't grow at all. It's one truth. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You don't grow because you don't want to grow. You don't want to deal with the real issues that's keeping you from growth. So it's easy to say, oh, nobody's trying to let nobody get on the podium and do nothing. Oh, brothers just trying to lock me down and hold me down. Nobody asked the real question. Why am I not up on time? Why am I not growing? Does anybody ask that question? No. I'm answering for you. Nobody asks why. Because there are real concrete reasons why some people get moved up and some don't. Nobody want to hear it though. So they don't ask. So keep being lukewarm, but we can't make you want to choose to go further on the strong side. And we're in this truth to keep killing and destroying these delusions that we have in ourselves. That's what we're here to do. If you're here for the right reasons, some of us come here for rips. Some of us come here for husbands. It's the truth. Yeah. Versus coming here to actually work on yourself. Let all that go and go to James 1 and 12 through 15.
James 1 and 12.
I'm almost there. Read it, sir.
James 1 and 12. Blessed is the man that endured temptation.
What's the temptation? The temptation is to sit back here and follow that lie. Believe that impulse. Believe that feeling. Believe what your emotions tell you. Believe these things that hit us that aren't scriptural. That's what we have to fight. That's how you fight the temptation. It's the acknowledging that how you think and feel can't be part of the equation of what it takes to get clarity in a situation.
If you're more motivated by skepticism than the scriptures, that's definitely a sign.
That's not the Bible. That's the word. That's how you survive in the world. I don't buy this. Let me see. I don't really trust what's going on. That's how worldly people think.
That does not exempt us from judgment. Because people think because they're skeptical, they're exempt from judgment.
Yeah.
Well, not that if you're skeptical, there's no God's skeptical of you too.
Okay.
I'm not sure about this guy either.
Okay. Let's continue.
Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him.
We have to fight to endure those feelings that are strong on us. Because if the feeling is strong enough on us, we'd like to choose it. And we have to fight every day to not give in to those strong, wicked imaginations. And we have to fight to choose strength, choose reality. I don't know if you really know, when you're really fighting your battle, you are literally fighting reality versus delusion. If you really are fighting, you know what this is, you know what this looks like. You are fighting what's real versus the lie that's strong and heavy on you. And you want to believe this lie. You want to believe this wicked hunch. You want to believe this negative impulse. And you have to choose to look at things spiritually. You have to choose to see the good in the situation. That's how you know you are fighting and you are enduring temptation. But if you're not in that battle, then know you are being lied to. And you are bought into lies, hook, line, and sinker. If you don't feel that, you are being guided by lies. Because if you're really fighting, you are choosing. I'm not going to choose what I think this is. I'm choosing what the scripture's saying. And it is a literal choice to go a different direction.
And the objective critiquers outside you confirm the direction you're going. Because this is what people do. They do all these decisions, spiritual moves, without any biblical confirmation.
Huh?
People move without confirmation.
And this is why people always counsel without the spirit people. You'll counsel with worldly people or young brothers and young sisters. Never counsel with the person you... Remember we were sitting back here, sisters counsel with older sisters. And then all of a sudden they're counseling with peers or younger sisters. Why are you doing that? Because you want to be lied to. You don't want to go to the person that's going to tell you like it is. Because you say, oh, this person has got it out for me. This person doesn't like it. Is it they don't like you or they see right through you? And they're telling you like it is and you don't like how it's coming. That's what it is. And the ones who run from that, they run from growth because they're liars. They're men, Jay said, men lie, women lie.
Yeah.
But a person's spiritual situation doesn't lie. Jay said numbers don't.
Yeah, but
our conditions in life don't lie. Our conditions that don't change don't lie. That's the number. The ruts the Most High keeps us in don't lie. Our conditions don't lie. And that's the truth. So anyway, let's keep going in James. Verse 13.
Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High.
He says, let no man say that a spiritual, godly force is tempting. Because it ain't spiritual at all.
I'm being held back.
You're not being held back by the program, or since I've been in the truth, I've gone through so much pain and suffering. Let's not blame it on the program. The program has nothing to do with your temptation. Your crappy weight, your crappy spiritual processor is why you are tempted of the Lord. You look at things crappy and negative and pessimistic, and that's why you're being tempted. Read on.
Middle of 13. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil.
Listen, the Most High don't tempt with evil, nor do people tempt you with evil. Most people don't make you do things. Nobody should make you do anything. Nobody has the power to make you look at your battle negatively. You have the power to look at your outlook negatively, your situation negatively. You have power over that. And if you do, it's because you're weak in the spirit and you're unskilled in the spirit. And for those of y'all who don't feel good about what I just said, listen to the beginning of class. This is supposed to be done. People are supposed to receive this harshness with kindness if you're in the spirit. But if you're not in the spirit, you're not going to want to hear what's being said, which means you're unskilled, which also means that you're lukewarm and you're deceivable. And you're on the chopping block in the spirit. And that's the truth. Read on.
God, for the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man.
Read on.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
It's not the devil's fault either.
But the lust is your imagination.
No.
People keep thinking lust is this guy walking around all horned out. It has nothing to do with that. You're tempted by your imagination. Sometimes. But not the time. Not the majority of the time. It's more imagination than sensation. It's a little right.
People know that I wanted my mother. Yeah.
But some people are wrong like that.
That's what I'm saying. There is some animals like that.
There's some animals. There's some wolves out there. Wolves in the spirit.
Yeah.
But as far as our real lust is, can I satiate my imagination? I want my world.
My delusions. I want
in
my
my
delusion to come to fruition.
And if you're not telling me words that are based on what I see in my head, I have an issue.
Yeah.
And they have a psychological term for that. It's called cognitive distortion.
Mm-hmm.
And also, another word, I forgot what it was. But
dissonance?
Cognitive dissonance. It's when you're offended that the information being presented doesn't match what's in your head.
Exactly.
And that's where
the delusion.
That's where this resistance comes from with people.
And that's where the temptation is to be proven right. It's to prove that your delusion is true. Because you have to sit back here and be convinced to prove that your delusion is wrong. And how many of us sit back here and go into counsel with that mindset? You got to go into counsel to prove your delusion is false.
Or study to prove your delusion is wrong.
That's even better.
Because like
people don't want to read books to do that. That's my point. That's my point.
Because after the councils, like I'm talking to brothers and trucks, it's constantly, I've got to keep proving though how I think is off. Yeah. And I need people around me to keep telling me every single day, my perspective does not make any sense. And then when I told it doesn't make any sense, let me take their verse that they told me and go research it myself.
And prove it to be right. And the truth, the wise man commends it. They agree. They look at it as kindness. They add on to it. That's the point. I don't even think I finished that verse with the commend. Because it goes into adding on to it. Exactly. You're supposed to commend it, see it as kindness, and pull 10 more, 20 more verses to prove that to be true. We don't do that though.
No, because
that's what it takes to reconvince your mind to see it the right way.
You're hurting me. But that you're hurting me conversation is very demonic.
It's really demonic.
That you're hurting me. What's being hurt? Is somebody stabbing you?
You're not listening to me. Is it not listening or I'm just not agreeing with you? You're not agreeing with your delusion. And if a person doesn't flatter you and agree with your delusion, then it's not love.
And that's the you don't love me conversation.
That's where I just said there's no love. And this is the lukewarm debate. Or the lukewarm issue, that deceivable seed that the Most High says, you know, you're either righteous, wicked, or you're deceivable. You do not want to be the deceivable seed. You don't want to be. At least the wicked is going to get every carnal reward for being wicked. The deceivable person is going to suffer and not get nothing out of it. You might as well suffer and get the benefit from suffering by learning how to process what you're going through the right way, by using studying, by using counsel, by choosing to see how honesty about your condition is the right way to do it. Condition. Condition. Yeah.
James 1:14. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then, when lust hath conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
Listen, let's go to Matthew. I'm going to finish this up soon. 13 and 22. We're just getting started, but we got, we'll do more later. Matthew 13, verse 22. Now, Matthew 13 is still dealing with the seed and the sower, like I talked about earlier. But let's read verse 22.
Matthew chapter 13 and verse 22. He also that received seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word.
This is one of the people or the archetypes of people that hear this word, get this knowledge, and it never processes, it never sticks. They never can grow in this word. Read on.
He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches.
Riches or getting, there is a deceit and there's a lie about the value of riches or getting things the way you want it to be. And this is what kills us. We lie to ourselves because we tell ourselves whatever is valuable to us makes us happy.
Yeah.
And that desire to be happy, that desire to gain the value of what you want in your life chokes the word out. It chokes the lesson. It chokes why you're supposed to be here in the first place. Because the deceit is you think you deserve this in the carnal. You're not complete unless you get this in the world. You're not complete unless you get this type of happiness. This type of condition will bring you happiness. This type of marriage, this type of work, this type of car, this type of blessing, this type of free time, this type of whatever variable that you value. There is a lie to that. There is a lie that we sit back here and think if we have this, I will be happy.
It's all good at that.
And that pursuit of finding that happiness or that equilibrium that brings peace to you is what chokes your relationship with the Most High and strangles it and it kills it. And it creates that deceitful nature and it brings you into that lukewarm place.
Because you're never learning the information, ever learning, but never able to come to the knowledge of the truth.
And your desire for the riches doesn't connect with your desire to please the Most High. So you have to just make the decision that whatever you might want, you'll find without having. So that serving the Most High is the only thing you want. People say that on the outside, but do you really believe that? Do you really, is serving the Most High all you want? Because you will be put to the test to determine if that's all you want. And you won't get an iota of anything else until you decide all you want is serving the Most High. And if there's that conflict between finding something in the world that brings you happiness, it is an ideology. It doesn't have to be a house or whatever. It's an ideology that you think you need to have. That cannot compete with your desire to please the Most High, because there is a deceit there. There's pride there. There is a vulnerability there. And wherever there's something that you want in the world, you are now easily manipulated from that thing that you want from the world. And that's what has to be killed if you want to truly embrace the Most High. That's part one. Are there any questions? If you're a lot of teaching or coming in and yes, okay. Did that help answer your question? You got more questions? First of all, it's good seeing you, brother. Good stuff.
So,
I thought pride is pretty like the money trait. Like that's not what the Most High expects from us.
Yes. Come. Yes, sir. And we're going to keep going over it these next few weeks. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Write them down. If you hit you at home or something like that, all right? Are there any other questions? As you're at the water tuning in, and I see you guys on Wednesday with Sham Shawan. Shalom.